Johnny, great. Yosemite, great. Otago, great. All right. Both were here Wednesday, right, as I recall? Yes. Okay, pop quiz. What did you learn about Autumn Festival from looking at the post?
Learn about
Autumn Festival from looking at the post?
I didn't look, sir.
You didn't look?
Yeah,
I
got
watched
work.
it, but I didn't really get much out of
Okay,
it.
see, you should have lied like me. That was a good lie.
I don't need to
watched
lie.
it, but
I
I
got
didn't
other,
remember
I got other stuff to do.
Yeah?
So it looked like she was in a beautiful mountain scene.
All right.
I got kids
Complete
work and
total
other
failure.
stuff.
That's all right. All right, back up. Here's what we do. We're going to play with something a little bit up front here. From the arm. You're going to come out, look up a little bit. Cross the hands. Your right hand is farthest back. Match the thumb.
Sorry, sir, your right hand.
Your right hand is farthest to the rear.
got it.
So it's right palm on the back of your left hand. You're going to match the thumb. Come in here. Once you come out a little bit, scoop, let the thumb open, you just under your belly button. There you go. All right. That's how we're going to start.
You go all the way where it touches your body.
I don't punch because my arms don't like to come down that far in this position, but if you do, I can keep them off. So, all right, from your arm. You go out, you go up, look up, touch the thumbs, roll in. Go to our left front 45. You're going to make this chicken beak hand. Block.
What's happening with the other hand, sir?
Open. Twist as you drive the elbow. Right foot step. Turn. Throw.
With the hand up.
The rear hand is going to kind of match your back leg.
So we're in a semi-backstand type approach, or it should be a full backstand.
We're in our kind of a short calf backstand here. Now we're going directly to what is our front. Your back foot is going to scoot up as you make that same block. From here, your back leg is going to scoot up, make that same block. Open, twist, 2 steps and throw. Open, twist, elbow, and left step, right foot to behind. There you go. You got that 45 going up. You want to end up facing the back foot. Okay, quick getting closer to you. That's not going to help you keep it. Okay, twist, put your back leg more towards the 45 foot. So that take the whole length, not foot, whole length. There you go. Good. All right, go ahead. Do that back.
Really? Is that it, sir?
Oh no, this is what
No, I'm being sarcastic. You said just do that much.
Well, that's all we're going to do for the moment because you know why.
Because I'm stupid, I know.
Out. Down. Block.
Now, when you block, are you crossing your hands like just now? The hand that, oh, so you're just separating them and then blocking.
Open. Twist. Step, step. Throw. Right up. Open. Twist. Throw. Do that much again.
The elbow on the second one is the backhand. The backhand is doing the elbow.
On all of these, you go about one.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good.
All right, here we go. Out. Down. Good. Just the block. Right. Good. Open. Twist elbow. Step throw. Good. 445, right? All right, slide up, block. Open. Elbow. Step throw. Good. All right, now back. Do that much one more time.
How do you tell it's just the way it is? It shouldn't feel natural one way or the other. That's just the way it is. Do it this way.
I'm not sure I understand what you're at.
I'm trying to think of a way to remember which way I should have my hand when I'm doing it here. Or is it just memorization of, hey, it should be this way?
Anytime that we're throwing this round, it's going to be palm up. The only time I can think of on top of my head where we're palm down is when we hook them.
I think what's getting me is when we do this, I'm doing this. But that's different. I'm kind of grabbing and pulling something else.
It's probably a good point. Pulling, different story. It's like pushing here. Good. Okay, for this opening block, it's more like middle outside block height, but turn down to do so. Not high. And sometimes you do this block, this time we're going open, we're on side.
Right.
So it's middle outside block high, turn down.
So elbow should remain in.
Elbow should be down. Alright, we're gonna begin. Out. In. Lock. Correct, that's lock. There you go. Drop the elbow one. There you go. Open. Elbow. Step throw. Good. Slide up elbow. Excuse me. Lock. Open. Elbow. Step through and throw. Good. From here, we're going to this back 45. Your left leg is going to stay where it is. Your right leg is going to swing around. So you swing around and block. Open. Elbow.
Still 45, sir?
Still 45. Step through and throw. Slide up and block. Go to this 45. We're making the last one here. Open. Elbow. Step through and throw. Alright, let's do that one. Basically, we're making the 445. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and down. Lock. Open. Elbow. Throw. Lock. Open. Elbow. Throw. Alright, you can do this. Right leg swinging around. Left leg stays where it is. Spin and block. Hey. Too far. There you go. That's the one. Okay. Open. Elbow. Step through and throw. Good. Slide up to this last 45. Basically it's coming towards Shion. Block. Open. elbow, step through and throw. Good, yeah man. Simple enough, yes?
Right?
Simple enough, yes? Alright, a couple things. One with the feet. So what we're doing tonight, we're either going to be in a normalish front stance, maybe shorter front stance, or we're going to be in this kind of stand-up fighting stance. So what we're doing these blocks is basically in this stand-up fighting stance here. So not turning into a Sanchi and everything else, is you to kind of hide soft.
Feel Sanchi-ish or no? Not at all.
Because of how I learned this, no. Should you feel Sanchi-ish? Sure. Because I'm not going into a ton of detail on where it came from right now. I'm just using you as guinea pigs on an experiment. All right, from your the opening. Do this entire 45. So block, open, elbow, throw. Just one side. Hey. All again. Good. Second 45. Hey. Elbow, step through and throw. Good. Third 45. Hey. Open, elbow. Throw. Good. The last 45. Hey. Good. Come on. Let's do that much one more time. Again, slide up just a little bit. Apparently you're proud and brave. All right. Opening. Excuse me. Opening. One side, one count. Hey. Hey. Hunt. Hey. Good. Come on. All right. This time, one count, two sides. Opening. Hey. Hey. Slide up. Keep going. Good. Open. Elbow. Step through and throw. Good. Come on. Do that much one more time. Opening. Hey. Hey. Good. Come on.
I do have a question.
Sure.
When you're doing the, is there, you go, hey, make sure your hands are going in a particular motion, because I'm not sure, I'm just making up how I'm swinging the hands, and how to do this. Is there a particular way, should my hand be the right one in front of the other, or some type of way where I'm,
Yes.
can you explain that a little more, sir?
No.
Thank you for not explaining. I guess it's wax on, wax off, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
A little more detail than that. stop, part of why I said it that way, the real answer is quit thinking about it. Just let your hands go. A more specific answer is it really depends on the bolt guide that you're doing, but not really. From here, I like this short elbow. So as I step, my hands just circle down. Giant likes a scooping elbow. So his hands go a little bit different, a little bit bigger circle. But they follow the same line and the same principle. So they're about that much different. It's based on, he prefers a different bolt guide than I do.
Right. So it depends, the famous answer.
It really depends, yes. All right, this time, one count, all four sides. Open it. Hajime. Good, come in. Do that one more time, then we're going to finish the dive. Opening. Hajime. Alright, yeah, man. Here's the question that you should have asked, is how does what we just talked about affect the feet?
Affect your feet?
The feet.
That was another one, but I said when you did that, forget it. That was even more complicated.
Alright, John, if you would please. Watch his distance of travel, maybe is that way to put it. Okay. What was different?
Because Eric had, to me, covered more ground with the step to move over. It kind of had a skip off a little or something, or a stretch. And yours seemed more static with less ground. What's the word? You didn't cut ground coverage.
Didn't cover as much territory. Absolutely. Same thing? You're absolutely right. Now why?
Pardon me?
Why?
I think because of what both of you are envisioning you're doing.
Absolutely. That scooping elbow pretty much demands that movement.
Can you tell me more about why that dimension?
That. My short elbow pretty much demands that I go short and turn. I'll let him explain why he does his. What are you envisioning now?
I've gotten this more of a deflecting block than a driving elbow. Because if I'm driving the elbow, there's a fair bit of the guy's here. But if there's a punch or something coming in, then I'm dealing with, now, am I doing the same thing? Could I turn it into a striking elbow? Absolutely. But I'm looking at it as incoming, bypassing, then striking maybe? One of the options.
Another option for that is up under the armpit throw. So either way, he's going to get it. So it demands that footwork.
Okay. Which is why the skip.
Which is why-
you're pulling it up and throwing.
Once you get used to looking at both of us, you'll see the same wave function, which we'll get into here in just a minute. But because he's covering more territory, it's more obvious. Okay, that's why it's easier to see, kind of thing. So again, so his bunkeye, he's going to get him. In my envisioning of the bunkeye is kind of what he alluded to in the beginning of what he was explaining. To me, the guy's right here. So I'm right here. So if I go long, he's in the way, or I have to go around it. So that's why my footwork is more static in its, or not static, more compact. He's right, I'm right. He's right for him, I'm right for me. Now, do I understand what he does? Yes. Do I like it? Under certain circumstances, yes. There are other kata related to this that I love doing that in. That exact motion, yeah. There's two of them that I love doing that in. For some reason, this kata does not tell me to do that. I understand how he arrived at that conclusion. It's just not where my brain took me.
It's like the first thing we learn in the keynote. Senton.
Exactly. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, we blow something in.
Sure.
When I got this, I was given very much the water, the wave, the fluidity. So I don't necessarily focus on the hard, the stable, the right here. If I have to end up doing a passing motion to get around, I'm going to move in and pass. Since I focus at this point, there's a little more of ease here, and I would say from my outside observation of Sensei, he's done both. He's at a point now that he's investigating how this works here, and not here. Understand the statement?
Let's go. All right, 2-minute mask water break.
Can I ask another question for you to tell Michelle to mind my business?
Absolutely.
You said, because at first I was like, wait, is this some type of Angawasa or something? You said kata. What's the name of this kata?
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
And it feels like it's Tai Chi-ish. Am I wrong with that? It's a total...
You're not wrong. We'll get to that too in a minute. So did I misunderstand, or is there good news?
There is good news. In short, I told you about getting hired by Del Air, right?
No, that's why the first I heard was from James the other day.
Oh. Well, I
Because I haven't seen you in forever.
got an offer from Del Air.
Okay.
I called them to accept.
Right.
They did not answer.
Right.
They eventually answered. They called Monday. I called, no answer. Called Tuesday. Finally got an answer. They said they had a hiring freeze.
Oh, gee.
I'm like, I feel like I got laid off twice.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
So, in the process of trying to figure out what to do,
When you have a hiring freeze,
Right.
they can think of it any time, but you also have to eat.
Right.
So you keep putting out, not that I'm in dire straits of any sorts, but you kept putting out resumes, and I saw an application from a company that I've been doing for like 2 months. And I said, is my application in for that? Because I see you're actually advertising now.
Right.
Well, that's a little bit lower than you're looking for, but if you want to be considered, okay, so I did. And by the time I got the video interview, they said a junior level position had opened instead of an entry level position. So I went for a couple of interviews and got the offer from them.
Excellent.
At about 20 cents less than Del Air, so it was competitive.
Yeah.
And actually what I'm doing now is pretty much the same thing I was doing before. It's just on the residential side as opposed to the commercial side.
Excellent. Good to hear. All right. Once everybody's back, let's mask up and get this done. All right. From the beginning, the opening, do the 4 sides, and then we'll finish it. Opening. Hajime. Okay, from here, you're going to turn back to the front. Tapioca.
Is it, sorry, the left hand, is it coming in or is it, oh, so it's going out like this?
Not equal
It's
width.
not this. It's not this.
It's not bending the width. You got to take this right. Actually, think holding it on here. Spear over the top. Step back. Stand up Tapioca. And finish it like you started.
The front legs move back to the back.
Front leg comes back, yeah. And once you come down to here, just throw out. Touch. Pinky finger, depending on what your hand looks like. And then circle back to go. Let's do the ending one more time. We're here on this 45. Pivot, Tapioca. Strike. Stand up. Come back, out. In. Throw. Touch. Away. Go. All right, do the 4 sides and freeze. The question?
I'm just trying to remember
Okay,
that
I got
part.
you.
We'll
Okay,
get there.
we'll get to there. So yeah, just do the 4 corners, freeze, and then we'll walk through the ending. So, opening. Hajime. Okay, now, go back to that. Go back to the angle. Okay, stand up, Tapioca. Bottom hand, right hand, left hand should be down here about belly button.
So when I do the transition, just keep this hand here and go forward like this.
Yeah, just twist it. All right, then step back, spear over the top. Actually, thumb up, there you go. Slide back, Tapioca again. There you go. Bring your foot back. Finish it like you started. Throw out. Touch. Circle back yard. Good. All right, same thing, same way. 4 corners and freeze. Hajime. Good. Twist, Tapioca. Good. Slide back, spear. Stand up, Tapioca. Good. And finish it like you started. Out. Throw. And finish. Good. All right. Any immediate questions?
Is this Shichirutsu?
No.
Good question.
Yeah. We're gonna do it kata a couple more times and then I'll get to the explanation part.
That hurts my feelings.
What?
John didn't say mine was a good question earlier.
Well,
Never mind, I'll go to council and figure it out.
Because I only have one question on that.
saving up for it.
All right, all the way through. So, opening. And Hajime. And Yama. Have we not done Takayuki before?
This one?
This-
Yes, but
Okay.
doesn't mean I'm good at it. No,
Okay,
sir.
well, I thought I had a memory of everybody in this room having done that, but
I've done
you're,
it before.
you're kind of getting, so I'm just beginning to doubt my memory there for a second. With Takayuki, especially for this particular kata, probably the simplest way to think about it would be X block and pull. So think about catching an arm and then pulling that arm.
The question is which one is in the back X and which is in the front X?
Back foot, back in. Back hand low. Each hand. Whichever hand is in the back, that hand is going to be low. There. There you go, that one. Then when you spear over the top, do just exactly the same thing. Just bring it in, X block, and roll out.
The left one would be in the back this time?
No, your right one's going to be in the back.
It's always working.
Okay. And twist out. You good? All right, let's do that one more time. The opening. Hajime.
What confuses me now.
Now, you come from here, you're going to come out and up, down, then you go out, and then back in.
Big circles. Big circles. And short change yourself.
The first one comes.
Out, down, then you go back out the way you came, and then you dig you up.
The very first one is just like how we had begun it. You're going like
Yep,
this and then
that's all there is to the beginning, yep. Well, for now, that's all there is to the beginning. All right, any immediate questions other than what I'm about to get into, which is the explanation of what and why? Okay. This particular kata comes from our taijutsu curriculum. It's the seventh kata of the 9. Probably pattern-wise, probably the second simplest, maybe third simplest of the 9. Probably show would be a little simpler. Probably show would be a little simpler, but that would be about the only one maybe. So probably the second
Is it all
simplest.
part of one kata?
There is the standard taijutsu joke. How many kata are there in taijutsu? There's only one. But we break it into 9 parts because it's so damn long.
And
then-
do you ever do all of them at once?
Oh yeah.
How long does that take usually?
How long? 2 or 3 years by the time we got all 9, I think.
How
At
long does
least.
it take to
Well,
do it, or
I was gonna ask that, how long does it take once, when you go through all of it, does it take?
Oh,
5
wait, oh,
minutes?
sorry. I thought you skipped that. I
Oh,
misunderstood.
it's
Sorry.
about
2.5 minutes?
Probably say inch him twice to kind of give you a reference. But we break it into 9 parts. And then we do all of that, open hand, boken, spear, knife, Manrican, gun, baton. You know, I added those in a little bit. So basically you do them with all the weapons. But yeah, that is the running jump. Because it is true. Technically, there is only one kata in Taijutsu. But it's broken into 9 parts. Kind of thing. And you're not wrong. The Taijutsu that we do has a very Tai Chi-y feel. The lineage of Taijutsu itself is Japanese. It's not Okinawa. So in Japan, Taijutsu is the umbrella term for a whole lot of different arts. So our lineage kept the Taijutsu name. From there, it also broke into Aikijutsu. So Taijutsu and Aikijutsu. Aikijutsu went Aikido. Depending upon who you want to ask, one of those broke into Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, that kind of lineage. So for lack of a better way, strictly grappling aspects of the Japanese martial arts kind of come from the Taijutsu end of it. Now, the karate that we do has all of the same grappling in it. It's just presented in a different manner. Where Taijutsu came from, the open hand part, it started as a fully weaponed art. It started with the bow and arrow and the spear, because those were these samurai battle implements. You know, you didn't walk into battle with your fellow samurai and go, yeah, bring it on. You started with artillery on a horse, went to spear. Once you lost the spear broke. Then you went to swords, then you went to knives, then you went to Manrikans. You went through everything else before you got the open hand. Kind of stuff. So the Taijutsu that we do came directly from the sword arts. This isn't a chicken and egg thing. Sword came first, then the open hand kind of thing. But it is considered a soft art because it is very circular, it is very internal, and there are a whole lot more intellectual aspects in Taijutsu than there is typically taught in karate. In the part of Taijutsu, if you want to get into it, is the calligraphy, the herbology, the bonsai. If you've read Hanshi's book, that's a good taste of the Taijutsu and some of the intellectual aspects of it. And you're right, it has a very Tai Chi-y feel because it's still that same flowing art. In Taijutsu, this kind of thing is extremely rare. Like in karate, we'll stand there and pound it out if we have to. That's not Taijutsu. Taijutsu, like Xiao was saying, is about the passing. It's about the flow. It's about the water, kind of thing, going around it.
Does Taijutsu involve any kicking? I've never noticed a kicking in it, but there is kicking in it. It's just a soft type of kicking, or
It's a stomping.
oh, but not an outward kick. It's more of this.
But you have to think about where it came from. And because it came from the samurai battlefield, the armor. Okay,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Kari. Excuse me, the skirt.
about. The what?
Kari, P-A-R-E. which is the skirt to hang on, four-sided skirt, looks like a kilt. You're not kicking much in that. You're stomping the dog snot out of people, but you're not kicking with it. Plus, a muddy-ass, slippery, snowy, icy battlefield on the side of a hill in Japan is the last place you want to lift your leg up and stick it out.
Plus, if you have that on, you probably can't do
Yeah, you're not. It was like the plate mail of the European knife. It was flexible and you could move in it, but you're not doing, you're not doing Taekwondo tournament in it, kind of thing. It is restricted to a point. One of the things that I wanted to, the reason that this came up tonight anyway, I want to kind of get it out of my head, kind of goes into what Greg was asking. Hey, is this Tai Chi? No, but it is related because it's circular, internal, and all of that. And what really kicked it to the forefront was one of those weird coincidences of parallel thinking. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it. Myself, James, Xian, we have. Is we'll walk, it's like, I'll take my experience for example. All day long, I'll be driving around for work, doing whatever, and I'll have a thought process going in my head for class. Hey, I want to cover this, 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 and this. And when I walk in the door, Xian, James, or him are teaching that exact thing. Almost word for word sometimes. It freaks me the hell out every time they do it, every time it happens. So I'm not claiming any type of cosmic anything. That's up to your beliefs. But it's just that weird parallel thinking. When you reach a certain point in your martial arts career, especially once you guys start teaching and teaching a lot, you start taking what you know and you start innovating with it. Xian has innovated a lot in the Iaido. He's done drills, come up with stuff for the Iaido. I love it. I've never seen it before. It's all his stuff. For the Taijutsu, I came up with the gun and other stuff for that kind of thing. Xian James has incorporated a lot of his kickboxing and other things into his and come up with innovative parts. The combative tension hoppo, for example, is one of them that comes to mind. He came up with those. So, in that same vein, Sifu Anne Marie is taking her Chinese Qigong and has been formulating it from a European standpoint. So that's the innovation, one of the innovations she's working on right now. And she just published a video on YouTube, because her stuff's on YouTube, in the same place that other video is. She just published one a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking at it, and it is straight up the principles and probably half of the techniques of Kaze. She is of Kaze, the Kaze you guys just did.
Oh, that's the name of it.
That's the name of it, Kaze, yeah. Yeah. Which means wind. Yeah, she has never seen that kata before. Parallel thinking from her aspect led to the same point. So it's that kind of that analogy of we're all on the same mountain, we're all going to the same point. It's just a matter of which path we're taking to get there.
Is that because of the derivative of the different martial arts, the similarity that it came from, or no, not necessarily?
To the same place, but we're coming from different points.
Elaborate your question a little bit more, please.
You're saying what she was doing has the fundamentals of what the
Kaze.
Kaze is. I didn't know maybe from the starting point of martial arts, it filters out like everything else, and maybe that's why the similarities are there?
Actually, my personal opinion is you run that equation the other direction.
Okay.
How I look at it, and Xian, jump in here if you have something to add to it. There's only a certain number of ways the human body can move.
That was exactly the words I was going to put out there.
Because we're all people. There's only so many ways you can move. There's only so many ways you can develop power, period. So what I think we're doing is all of martial arts is the same. That's the top of the mountain. We're trying to recreate that. So the karate people are coming up this side. The taijutsu people are coming up this side. The tai chi, qigong people are coming up this side. The taekwondo people are coming everybody's coming up that mountain on a different side. Sometimes, some of us, Sean James, myself, because of Hanshi, Sifu and Marie, as we're coming up that mountain, we kind of curl around it, start incorporating other things, which is a good thing if you take the right stuff. But we're all heading to the same point. So one of the things that Hanshi always said was, in the beginning, karate looks very linear. In the beginning, taijutsu looks very circular. You train, you train, and you train, and all of a sudden, your karate becomes more circular and your taijutsu becomes more linear. At a certain point, they merge, and you really can't tell the difference. So, Sean James, he doesn't train a lot strictly in taijutsu. Taijutsu in and of itself is a separate art. He's trained in it enough where he does incorporate it into his karate. So he calls it karajitsu. And we laugh because it's funny. Is it strictly traditional taijutsu? No. Does it work? Absolutely. Does it incorporate the taijutsu principles? Absolutely. Does his karate contain a good chunk of his taijutsu, Iaido, and Kubudo? Absolutely. And vice versa. And same thing. Sometimes, if we're not thinking about it, our taijutsu, when we're working taijutsu, gets a little karate looking, and sometimes our karate gets a little taijutsu looking. So, which is not a bad thing. It depends on what question you're answering. If you're walking into a class and going, I'm doing karate today, the amount of other things that you incorporate is, for lack of a better word of saying it, limited. Because if you put too much in, it becomes obviously something else. If you're doing Ken's martial art, Greg's martial art, Xi'an's martial art, my martial art, then it can look like whatever it wants to. Rubber meets the road, it's all going to be blended together. But if you show up for a taijutsu class, part of that is transitioning into a taijutsu mindset. So you can kind of call on that, karate mindset when I need karate mindset, taijutsu mindset when I need taijutsu mindset.
I saw that after a while, it became your own martial art anyway. Just do something to base it on.
Absolutely.
When Hanshi's here, he says you become your own karateka, I think is what he said.
Exactly. Yeah.
You still have to know and do and own the foundation, the base, the foundation. But like he was saying earlier, the principles are what's kind of important at that point. Once you learn it from the basic standpoint, then you have the principles down, the ability to turn it into yours. It's fine, as long as those basics and principles and strategies are still there.
With the flow, is there still it's a different type of key, different type of, like how we ki, is there some other form that shows whatever that energy is within you through the taijutsu?
I'm not sure I'm understanding your
Like
question. Right?
Is there something that represents that in the more fluid martial arts like taijutsu?
Are you asking specifically about ki or ki flow?
Ki, but maybe it's not a ki, it's just another type of a breath, a breathe. What is there something that represents you're using your energy, your inner energy?
Okay. What I'm hearing is three separate questions. Is there a ki similar to karate in taijutsu? No. And if you disagree or have that authority, no. Is there anything that represents the ki flow? Absolutely.
That's what I was asking.
Do they look different? Yes. Especially in the beginning. Yep, something to add to that. In the beginning, personal opinion, karate and taijutsu start on opposite sides of that mountain. Now I think eventually they cross on the way up. But karate in the beginning is hard style, hard key. Taijutsu in the beginning is soft key, flowing. Now, does that mean that karate hits harder than taijutsu? No, it does not. It hits differently. And it teaches movement differently. But at a certain point, because your karate has to be, well, let me back way up. Everything has to be yin yang. Everything has got to be hard and soft. It can't be hard all the time. Because you'll eventually lose to somebody who can be soft. You can't be soft all the time. Because eventually you're going to lose to somebody who can be hard. And here's why I say that. How many of you have seen the MMA guy that's been traveling, the Chinese MMA guy that got ran out of China for beating up the Tai Chi people? You haven't seen those videos? Okay. Tai Chi can be and was a martial art. It can also be medicinal, spiritual, everything else. In that aspect, that and taijutsu are hand in hand in their thought process. But as happens with karate, tournament becomes kata, tournament becomes bunkai. For the Tai Chi people, the soft, spiritual, healing Tai Chi became martial because nobody was punching them in the face. A couple of years ago, this actual Chinese MMA guy got tired of these Tai Chi people going, yeah, we can take it. So he put up a shut-up. A bunch of them took him up. A bunch of very high-ranking, very well-known, well-respected Tai Chi masters in China said, bring it on. So he showed up. They tried to do their ultra-slow Tai Chi on him and thump him. Because, yes, the ultra-slow teaches you a lot. But if you think that's the end-all, you need somebody punching you in the face so that you know how to use that against an unwilling opponent. And most of them did not. And in China and Japan have kind of a similar way of looking at the arts in general. They will actually declare people national treasures. Like if you're like a world-class opera singer, they will declare you a national treasure, and they'll actually pay you to do that.
The state,
The country will pay you, yeah. Hachi's first instructor, Ando Sensei, was declared a national treasure at one time, and he got a stipend from the government to teach martial arts. In Okinawa, Higo Ono Sensei, you've heard me talk about him, is a national treasure in Japan for martial arts, and he gets paid by the government to teach martial arts. These Tai Chi masters in China were the same thing. They were Chinese national treasures who, on live television, got knocked up out. About the third time this MMA guy did it, the Chinese state police came looking for him. So he boogied. He's living somewhere outside China right now, kind of thing. So if you're going to do, well, whatever it is that you do with your art, if you're going to make a claim, you better be able to back that claim up. Okay? They self-deluded. What is this? Confirmation bias. They were in Tai Chi classes with a bunch of other people moving real slow who didn't know how to punch, thought they could pull it off. They were wrong. Same thing with some of these, tournament people. Hey, I'm a world-class tournament person. I can do X. Until you can do X, you can't do X. That's one of the reasons Hanshi was always real big on bunkai, things like that. Because if you're gonna claim you can do this, then you need to be able to do this. If all you're claiming is, I do the kata and I do the do part, that's fine. That is perfectly acceptable. But if you're going to say, yes, I can defend myself, you better be able to defend yourself. That's what I'm saying. So I think we got off into the weeds. Yeah, kind of bring it back a little bit. So a little bigger taste of Taijutsu, illustrating, again, parallel thinking, which is always fascinates me, kind of thing. There's something else about history. What was it? Oh, I know what it was. This particular type of taijutsu is ours, for lack of a better way of saying it. Back in the old days, way back in the Wayback Machine, every family, every clan of samurai had their own family style. This is Ando's family style that he passed to his students. So if you find somebody out in the big wide world who knows this, kind of brothers, because there ain't many of us. And as far as I know, here in the U.S., if you ain't trained with Hanshi, you don't know this particular brand of taijutsu. So it does kind of make it a little special. That doesn't mean we don't give it to people. We give it out there. But just I want you to realize that it is special. It's not like Aikido, everybody knows Aikido, the same brand of Aikido.
And as he said earlier, remember the human body only has certain ways to move. So is it possible to run into somebody that has some similar motions to it? Absolutely. But doing it exactly the way we do it, absolutely correct. It was a family art given down.
With our kata, the way it's broken down and all of that, that's what I'm talking about. Xi'an's absolutely right. Because even the Aikido people can look at our taijutsu and go, oh yeah, that's kind of similar. Because it is. It's just how they derive power is different than what we do. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Everybody good? All right. Well, thank you for participating in my experiment. Oh, look at that. Go home.